All right, here we are. We're doing it solo pod, folks. Solo pod this week. Just got back from a camping trip. Well, this is where we're gonna start off. I'm gonna Scorsese this. I don't even know if this is a Scorsese because I don't know my films. Who's the guy where he starts at the end, and then we'll go from the beginning back to the end. That's what we'll do. I forgot who that is. Call in, folks. Who that is? It's not Scorsese. It's another director, Quentin Tarantino, maybe. All right, here we go. First off, I got Vietnamese delivery. Vietnamese food has to be the worst delivery food there is around. I would have to argue. It's the opposite of pizza. It's terrible. First off, it's also on me because I had the option of getting anything in the world, but I see free delivery and $5 off your first order, and I'm gonna do it. All right, I'm gonna do it because it's just too good of a deal to give up. All right, I got the pho, I got summer rolls, and I get a diet soda. Free delivery, $5 off. I'm gonna do it every time. And here's the thing, it never comes out good. All right, I should not. First off, ordering soup for delivery. Who am I? A 92-year-old? It's my fault for even doing it. It's my fault. The ingredients are in there for too long. It's either the ingredients are in there for too long, the meat, the noodles, they're in there for too long, or they give you a thing with Vietnamese restaurants, they'll give you the broth, and then you put in the meat and the noodles in yourself, which, what did I just pay you for? Just to give me No, I want you to do the whole thing together. Thank you very much. And so I get the pho, the summer rolls. It comes out terrible, all right? And also, can we get one thing straight here? Summer rolls, the worst appetizer in the culinary world, all right? It's like someone had a spring roll, and they're like, listen, this is fantastic. I'm loving the spring roll, all right? Delicious. Is there any way that we could take this delicious, crispy, greasy crust, the surrounding, can we make that paper thin rice? And can we put in a bunch of greens that are tasteless and crunchy? Can we do that? All right, fantastic. And also, while we have that, while we're doing those things, can we put 2 shrimp in there? Just two. Just two. I know what you're thinking. Should we fill the whole thing with shrimp? We're not going to do that. We're going to put 2 shrimp in there. And also what we're going to do is we're going to give you this peanut sauce that doesn't go with it at all. That's what we're also going to do for you. We're going to give you a peanut sauce, and you're probably thinking, oh, what does peanut sauce go with? It might go with shrimp because I've never seen it before. It doesn't go with the shrimp. It doesn't go with the greens. It doesn't go with the rice paper. It actually, as a matter of fact, goes with nothing. So if it goes with nothing, we're just going to give this what you hear. So I just had the Vietnamese food. Now, why am I doing a solo pod? Fantastic question. Well, it starts off with my girlfriend asking if she could come into town a day last Friday, come Saturday to Saturday. Now, listen, is that fantastic for our relationship? Yes, it's fantastic. Is it fantastic for productivity? Not so much. It's just not. So not a lot of things got done. But still, we're getting the pod in here. We're doing it. We're working. We did get to do the Bachelor recap as we all watched the first episode of The Bachelorette with Katie this season. And I knew my girlfriend wasn't going to be a fan of this because she doesn't like reality TV. And she makes fun of me for liking reality TV. And this is what I think we have to remember with reality TV. You have to watch it for the entertainment purposes. That's what reality TV is for, okay? You can't watch reality TV for the plot, really. Am I making sense with this? Where you're watching it for the plot, but not really? If you're watching The Bachelorette and you're watching it for people to find love, you're doing it completely wrong. Well, that's not what you're supposed to watch The Bachelorette for. You're supposed to watch The Bachelorette to watch decent-looking autistic people fake love to get more Instagram followers. That's why you watch The Bachelorette and The Bachelor, all right? That's it. You're supposed to watch Little People, Big World to see dwarves do daily activities. That's why we're watching Little People Big World. No one's watching that because the dad is like, I don't even know what he does for a job in Little People Big World, the dad. No, I watched it a few times. He mowed his lawn, and I had a chuckle. And that's just the truth of the matter, all right? There was one time where one of the dwarf son, he had to, like, reach something, and he couldn't get it. Yeah, and I'll watch the next episode because of that. But if you're watching it to see their daily lives, you're doing it completely wrong, all right? So my girlfriend does not realize that is why you're supposed to watch reality TV. Her favorite shows, I'll break them down for you here. She has 4 favorite shows, all right? It goes Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, and any Christmas movie on Hallmark. Those are the 4 things she enjoys. The first 3 things are essentially the same show, all right? It's just a bunch of civil servants working in Chicago, all right? Apparently her favorite thing to do is watch people who have good pensions. Oh, and also that's not reality TV, it's scripted. It's a scripted show, all right? It's just people who are working for the 20 years and getting out and will go to a vacation home. That's apparently what she's into. I don't care. It's more than fine that she does that, but don't insult me for liking reality TV shows when you essentially just watch the same thing in different formats. Do you understand what I'm saying with this? Also, have you ever watched these Hallmark Christmas movies? They're absolute dog shit. All right, let's look up the movie. We were watching a movie together around Christmas. It was the first time I ever seen a Hallmark Christmas movie. It was Cameron. The lead was Cameron something. It was Cameron, well, she was in Full House. So let's look up the cast of Full House. All right. It was DJ Tanner. We know who DJ Tanner is. It's Candace Cameron. It's Candace Cameron, and now I want her filmography here because that will tell me the name of this horseshit Christmas movie. So we got Candace Cameron Burr, Hallmark movie. Hallmark. Oh, she's in a few. Oh, fuck, she's in a few. Which one is it? Oh, shit, this is going to be tough. Is this it? The Heart of Christmas? No. Oh, my God. How, from an artistic standpoint, do you do more than one? How do you do one Hallmark Christmas movie? She's done 26. She's done 26 Hallmark Christmas movies. All right, I'm just not going to find it. I'm just simply not going to find it. So basically, is this it? I think it's Christmas Town. That's what it's called. I really had to take 4 minutes out of the way to find her in a movie called fucking Christmas Town, but this is exactly what it is. Okay, so here's the plot of Christmas Town, the Hallmark movie with Candace Cameron Burr. She's a teacher in Boston, all right? She doesn't want to live in Boston anymore. She finds a job as a teacher in Springfield, Massachusetts. Now, if you're familiar with Massachusetts, Springfield, Boston at all, or the Northeast, you know that these towns are about 30 to 40 minutes away from each other in reality, okay? So that's what I was anticipating. I was anticipating her to fill her car up, drive to the town, fall in love, and maybe, and then that guy's family is into Christmas. That's what I was expecting. Team, that's not what happened in this movie. So what happened was she took a train it was the biggest train in the world from Boston to Springfield. It was like the Polar Express. It was like some sort of train to get from Sweden to Austria. It's a half hour away. You don't have a car? How do you not have a car? In Boston. To get to Springfield. Rent one. How? It's the biggest train in the world. She's on the train, and the train breaks down in this little town called Grandin Falls. Breaks down in the town. She gets off, and they're like, listen, it's going to take us a day to fix the train, so why don't you go into the town, get a room, come back tomorrow? Which, first of all, is that train company not going to fund you for the room? Like, that I would be furious. I'd be on the phone calling someone to get this situated. That's not what happens with Candace Cameron Bure. Candace Cameron Bure, she goes into the town of Grandin Falls with all of her luggage. And I'm thinking, oh, maybe she'll also call an Uber to Springfield. Because, again, in reality, it's a half hour away. If we're halfway through the trip, you're 15 minutes away. Honestly, you could walk there. You can honestly walk to Springfield at this point. But she walks into Grandin Falls, beautiful little town. She walks into the Christmas store there, which is such a little northeast town thing to have a Christmas store, like a year-round Christmas store. She walks in, and instead of just like buying an ornament, she goes, I really like this. Do you have a room I can rent upstairs? And they're like, as a matter of fact, we do. As a matter of fact, we do have a room. What a weird question you asked that we also have availability for. It's as if you wrote the script to a really bad movie. And she just moves into the town because the train broke down. Again, the train was leaving the next day. She didn't have to stay. Falls in love with the guy. The guy's got a kid, and now she's like raising a kid with this guy she's known for 2 days. And she has a job waiting for her in Springfield. She's at no point in the movie does she call to cancel, to tell them, hey, listen, I've taken up a job at this Christmas shop, which also isn't the whole point of being a teacher the benefits, like you get good health insurance and the days off. If you're working at the Christmas store, not only are you making less money, you don't get the benefits. Like, it kind of made sense why she didn't have a car originally. Like, it's very clear she's not good with her finances, Candace Cameron Bure, in this movie. And at the end of the day, yeah, she marries the guy, I think, and I didn't really pay attention because the storyline was so bad. But those are the types of movies my girlfriend's into and makes fun of me for watching The Bachelorette. So then that's why I didn't record a podcast all week, because I was with her. And then usually we record on Saturdays. We've mentioned this before, that we record on Saturday morning/afternoon. But I went on a camping trip for the first time in my life. And I'll say this, it wasn't awful. It wasn't awful. It wasn't great. Camping isn't great. This is who camps, all right? This is who camps. People that camp are either very poor or very wealthy, all right? Both of them being very insecure. The very poor go to camp because it's cheap, and also you kind of could do what you want. Like, you're not letting money dictate what you want to do. Am I making sense with that? It's like, oh, you want to go swim? There's the lake. All right, we don't have to go to a pool. All right. Oh, you want to hike? There's a mountain. There you go. That's why the poor like to camp. The rich like to camp because it kind of proves to them that they're like men and they're like human beings. All right. Like, if you, let's say you're like an accountant, like you're a very well-off CPA, and you like to go camping, is because in your head you're like, I'm a fucking man. All right, I'll chop this tree right now, and then I'll light it on fire, and I'll cook some meat over it because I'm a fucking man. That's why they like to camp. And I fall in between, where I will pay to be comfortable. Call me crazy. That's what I like to do. I like to be comfortable. All right? Camping, not that comfortable. We went camping. A bunch of comedians went camping. You know, and we're talking the greats of the Happy Hour, right? Tom Luciano, Matt Hardy, Taylor Schmidt was there, the great Taylor Schmidt, Taylor Yarish. A few people that also aren't important. Also, Tobin Miller was supposed to go. The great Tobin Miller was supposed to come camping, and then he canceled because his neck hurt. What a bullshit excuse. Oh, your neck hurts, so you can't sit by a fire? Are you fucking serious? Just tell us you don't want to sleep outside. It's fine. I didn't want to sleep outside. I still did it. because I'm a friend. I'm a friend and I like a good hang. So we went camping. We went camping in Westchester, at the top of Westchester. And for anyone that wants to argue where upstate New York starts, I'll tell you one thing. It apparently starts in the Bronx, all right? Because it's just trees at a point. It's just trees. And the culture's different, all right? We're calling this deli by the campsite. We call the deli. They're like, all right, we're going to take 6 sandwiches. And they go, okay, how would you like that? On a roll or a wedge? Now, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I've had a lot of sandwiches in my life. I've had a lot of sandwiches. I know my way around a sandwich. I've thought I knew everything about sandwiches. And apparently is not the case. What the fuck is a wedge? What in the fuck is a wedge? I had to put the phone down. I go, anyone know what a wedge is? No one knew what a wedge was. All right, apparently a wedge is a hero roll. You know who says that? No one. No, that's how you know you're starting to go upstate, is when they just start using terminology no one in the world uses. Like in Buffalo, where they call soda pop. Can you make more money so you could use regular fucking words? Please. It's fucking ridiculous. Soda isn't pop. It's like in the Midwest and in the South, all soda is Coke. All of it. Pepsi's Coke. I'll take a Pepsi Coke. That's what you have to say. If you want to order a Pepsi, I'll take a Pepsi Coke. Insane. I'll take a Coke. I guess that's what you would have to say if you want a Coke in the South or Midwest. So we get to the campsite, and it's a campsite. It's grass. It's a fucking awning. It's not what I wanted to do, but I was there. And we went, and we go into we had a little awning with a bunch of tables to put our stuff down for the time, protect us from the rain if it did rain. And there were 2 barn swallows. We found out 2 birds, barn swallows they were. And they were building a nest. In that little area on the top. And we got there about Saturday at 1. From Saturday at 1 until today, Sunday, around 9:30 a.m. when we left, there seemed to be no progress on the nest that they were building. And I'm not a bird. I'm not an architect. But they seem to be pretty shitty birds. They seem to not be that good at being birds. Do you know what I'm talking about? You had a whole day and there's no progress on the nest. You should be embarrassed. I hope you don't lay eggs, because those birds are going to be fucking stupid also, all right? You know what I also thought was pretty funny? That like instinctually, all birds know how to build a nest. Isn't that a little crazy that they're born and just in their brains they know how to build a nest, essentially? But what I think is funny is that all birds, they grow up and then they go to bird college, and the only major offered at bird colleges is architecture. So all these birds learn architecture, learn how to build a nest, know nothing else. They know 0 other things. That's why birds don't have an economy. All right, there's no other trades for birds. It's just you're an architect, and that's it. You know how to build it. Or maybe you're what was Jesus? Help me. Carpenter. So maybe they're just all carpenters. Maybe just birds are natural carpenters. I don't know. But we're at the campsite. We get there, and now Tom Luciano is running this whole thing. We know Tom. He's the first 3-time guest on the Happy Hour. And we get there. Apparently, Tom got to the campsite at 6 a.m. to bury a brisket and he lit a fire and start cooking the brisket at 6 a.m. I'll buy what? That's so much work. This is why Tom makes a lot of money, wants to prove that he's still a man, so he'll wake up at 5 a.m. on a Saturday to then travel, bury a brisket, light a fire. No, thank you, not for me. It did come out to be a very good brisket, I will add, but he bought like trout, and he bought a thing to like put the trout in, and you turn the trout on and up. It was very good. The best brisket I've ever had, some of the best fish I've ever had. Then again, I'll go to Red Lobster, all right? Because one thing also, there were no Cheddar Bay biscuit rolls. And, it was very good. A lot of work. Sleeping outdoors, not that comfortable, as a matter of fact, all right? People are donating so much money to the homeless so they don't have to sleep outside. And what we did was we rented a Chevy Tahoe to drive upstate an hour to sleep outside. None of this makes sense. None of it makes sense. But that's why we're doing the podcast solo now, because I just had no time. I wanted to record the pod at the campsite. I thought that was fun. That clearly wasn't going to happen. So now we're here. We're doing it solo. Couldn't ask, Taylor was there. I didn't want to ask him to come over. That becomes a whole thing. So now we're here. We're doing a solo pod. I don't know how long this is going to be. I might end it soon. I don't know. It's my fucking rules. But what I thought would be fun, team, is if we break down, because Bachelorette started on Monday, as I brought up. I thought it'd be fun if we break down the characters on the Bachelorette this season. Just do a quick breakdown, and I'll pull up the cast here. Now, as we all know, the Bachelorette this season is Katie. Katie is the Bachelorette, and I've been very critical of Katie since her time on last season with Matt James on The Bachelor. She was awful on that season. She's awful now. And also, how about Chris Harrison getting $50 million to not be on The Bachelor anymore? So basically, he supported whatever her name was by saying, the one that won last season. I forgot her name. Big boobs, big eyes, brown hair. You know who I'm talking about with the picture. And he defends her saying, she was stupid, and then people interpreted that as racist. So he can't work on the show anymore. And because he said a quote-unquote racist thing, he gets paid $50 million to not be on the show anymore. Am I crazy for thinking that if he actually said something racist, he might have made more money? Does that logic work out? He said something quote-unquote racist, $50 million. Imagine if he just came out and was like, you know what? I think she should have done more. They're like, listen, Chris, $100 million. We'll give you $100 million. Just stop talking. Just stop talking there. And if anything, that might encourage more people to be racist. They see Chris being kind of racist getting $50 million. What if I'm extremely racist? Will I make more? Where am I going? I'm trying to find... Oh, no, I just want the cast. Why can't I just get the cast here? I don't want to go guy by guy. That's so annoying. Can I get the Katie's thing? Okay, well, I'll just criticize Katie from not looking at her profile. Here's the thing with Katie. First off, she's not that attractive. We'll call a spade with that, right? She's just generally not that attractive. She's not Bachelorette attractive. I'm sorry to tell you. She's also wearing a lot of low-cut tops for a girl with really no boobs. Tayshia last Bachelorette season, boobs McGee, low cut. I get it. I get the low cut. Katie, you got no boobs. Just because you wear something low cut doesn't mean that you're bringing nothing to the table. You're definitely not bringing a personality. So at least bring looks, and you don't have that either. So that's unfortunate. Now, we'll go each guy here, any guy that I think should be brought up. We'll go in alphabetical order. Now, first off, something I've also noticed with these guys, almost 70% of the guys that are on The Bachelorette are from San Diego. Is that why people move to San Diego, is to be on The Bachelorette? Is that because right now that's their main export. Their main export is Bachelorette contestants And their main import, I think, is cocaine. I'm pretty sure that a lot of cocaine runs through San Diego. All right, so here we got Aaron. Now, Aaron is a 26-year-old insurance agent from San Diego, California. So off the get-go, probably not making that much money. Let's just call it what it is. An insurance agency. Also, probably a very boring person if you're an insurance agent. Big forehead. Big forehead. That seems to be the trend this year, is guys with big foreheads. Here's his biography. It's easy to see that Aaron is a strapping young man. But don't be fooled. There is much more to this California stud than meets the eye. So just from that first sentence, I'm guessing they're writing their own biographies. Because there's no way someone would call this guy a stud. Aaron currently works in sales and enjoys being outdoors, surfing, and lifting weights, which is three very generic things. It's three very generic. I like the outdoors. Shut the fuck up. And he was an NCAA swimmer in college. That has nothing to do with anything. If I met someone at a party and I was like, oh, so what's your name? And they go, hey, I'm Aaron. I was a swimmer in college. I would go, who gives a fuck? That's what I would say to that person. He is thoughtful, sensitive, and very ambitious, saying that in 5 years' time, he hopes to own his business and work for himself. So, what does him wanting to own his own business and work for himself? I guess that means he's ambitious? That doesn't make him thoughtful or sensitive in any way. I guess it's ambitious a little bit. I don't know. Aaron is looking for a woman who is down to earth, smart, funny, and is someone who doesn't take himself too seriously. So apparently Katie is not the person for you because she is none of those things. She takes herself extremely seriously. She is not that funny. Down to earth. I hate when someone describes themselves as being down to earth. Have you ever met someone that's like, they're like, oh, this girl I'm dating, so down to earth. She works in recruiting. She's not somebody. She's not a duchess. A duke is a guy. She's not a duchess or a royal family or a billionaire. Down to earth. His one flaw? Aaron says he can be a procrastinator, but now he is done wasting time and is ready to find his wife. Oh, he's a procrastinator that wants to start his own business. Maybe that's why he wants to do it in 5 years' time. Maybe that's why. All right, maybe I shouldn't go guy by guy because this is going to take a while. Aaron. So that was Aaron. Who should we go with? Okay, so Andrew. Now, Andrew was the football player from Vienna, Austria. Now, if your initial reaction when you saw that was, I didn't know they played football in Austria. It's because they don't. They don't play football in Austria. He's a professional football player in Austria. That might be because maybe he found like a tax loophole where he can pay himself through an LLC in Austria. Because let's be honest, they don't have football in Austria. Andrew S. is truly a man of the world. I'm out already. Truly a man of the world. He's been so far to one other country we know, Austria. He spends half the year living in Vienna, Austria, where he plays professional football, and the other half in the Chicago area, where he works as a football coach and teacher's assistant. All right. So far, that just already doesn't make sense off the get-go. So he spends 6 months in Vienna, Austria, playing football. He spends the other 6 months coaching football and being a teacher's assistant. So a school year is 9 months. A school year is 9 months. So you're giving up on these kids at the end of the school year, or you're not showing up for the beginning of the school year. And then how are you playing football and also being a football coach? Are you doing this like through FaceTime? So far, your lifestyle isn't adding up to me. Andrew S. says living in Europe has given him an updated outlook on life where people work to live instead of live to work. I feel like going to San Diego does that as well. Like, that's why you moved to San Diego. It's because you want nice weather. It's kind of cheapish to live, and like that. You went to Europe to learn that. He is not afraid to make a grand romantic gesture and says that when the moment calls for it, he has no problem driving for hours just to hand deliver lunch and fresh flowers to that special woman. That's really specific. That sounds like something he did to a girl that was not that interested in him. And he's just like, no, I'm just telling you, that's something I would do. That's something I would do. You know, I would like to do that. And they're like, no, like, I'm not really that interested in you. He's like, well, I'm going to do it anyway. That's what it kind of sounds like with him. Andrew S. can't wait to get married at 26 and hopes to have 5 kids one day. That means nothing. The one thing he cannot handle in a relationship is poor communication. Lucky for him, the Bachelorette has no trouble in that arena. I mean, wasn't that a problem for her last season? Was when she couldn't get along with the other girls and then ratted them out to the Bachelor? I mean, that was a gigantic flaw for her last season. There's four bullets on Andrew here. Andrew S. has a great sense of humor. And one of his favorite party tricks is imitating accents from around the globe. That's not a party trick. That is not a party trick. If anything, that's like a party talent. It's definitely not a trick. It's not a trick to do an accent. That's not a trick. You hear it and then you mimic it. Parrots do that. It's something parrots do. Andrew has a great sense of humor, according to himself. According to Andrew S., he has a good sense of humor, according to him. Oh, and also remember, he did a British accent to tell her he's from Vienna, Austria. So does he have concussion syndrome? That's not what it's called, but we're moving on. Andrew S. loves to nerd out over ancient Rome and says that seeing the Colosseum in person was a dream come true. Loves to nerd out about ancient Rome. He's like, yeah, you know, I watched Gladiator. He's one of those guys that's like, I don't know if you know this, but they used to fight lions in the Colosseum. And you're like, yeah, that's been recorded very well back then. Everyone knows that. Did you know that they also would fill the Colosseum with water and have boats in there? Yes, we did, because that's been on a lot of documentaries, Andrew. Andrew S. loves margaritas and will happily challenge anyone who says that they can make a better one than he can. Oh, so he does not have any sort of complex. He has no inferiority complex, where the third bullet on him is like, I will make a better margarita than you. Fuck, I dare you to challenge me. I fucking dare you to. Also, can we also get this? Those 3 points have nothing to do with each other. They show no actual, like, none of those show anything about him. Andrew S. is very close with his 96-year-old grandmother. Well, that's so... I'm very close with my grandmother. How old is she? 96. She's 96. She's old as fuck. She's very old. Like, why did you bring up her age? Andrew's very close with his grandmother. Andrew's very close with his 96-year-old grandmother, so she will die soon. That's basically what you're telling me there. All right, so that is Andrew S. Who else can we make fun of here that stood out on the episode? Oh, Greg. So Greg got the rose. He got the first impression rose. So let's click on Greg here. How are we doing on time? 34 minutes? This episode probably sucks, but as long as I get a clip out of it, you can't tell me I took a week off. Here we go. All right, so Greg is 27. He is a marketing sales rep from Edison, New Jersey. So what does that mean? That means Greg couldn't find a job in Manhattan, couldn't get a job in Hoboken, so he lives in Edison because he can't make that much money. So that's what that means. So not that good of a marketing sales rep. First sentence of his biography. Greg is the full package. Okay. He's handsome, kind, vulnerable, and serious about wanting to settle down. Imagine he's like, I'm handsome, kind, vulnerable, and I'm just looking to fuck. And I'm just, because that's really what those three things will lead you to. And he's like, I'm those three things, but I'm serious. I'll settle down. I am looking to fuck. But I'll tell you I'm serious about settling down in order to fuck. That's Greg. Greg considers himself a helpless romantic. Apparently no one else does. Greg does. He considers himself. And a perfect first date would be something active like riding bikes, dancing, or going to a concert. How is going to a concert something active? What kind of concert are you going to? Riding bikes, dancing. If I'm going on a date with someone, I'll tell you the last thing our first date's going to be. Riding bikes or dancing. 1,000,000%. Let me sit down. First off, what's your name? Like, what's your full name? I'm not going to dance with you if I don't know your full name. Going to a concert isn't active, Greg. So clearly he doesn't exercise. Greg wants to travel the world with his wife before having kids, of which he says he wants to have at least 6. I think guys think girls, like every girl wants to have a lot of kids. Because that's been a big thing on The Bachelorette is guys saying that, how many kids do I want? Baker's dozen. I want a baker's dozen amount of kids. Like, they keep acting like they're living in the Wild West. Like, they're after the show, after they get the final rose, they're going to have to go on the Oregon Trail and have 13 kids because 7 will die. Something like that. I want to have 12 kids just in case the Apaches attack us. All right. Greg is also extremely close with his family and says his parents set his definition of #romance goals. Okay, so Greg's a douchebag. Just say your parents have a good relationship. Your parents are still together. No, they're what I consider #romance goals. You should be punched in the face. You should be punched directly in the face. If you use a hashtag to describe love, I don't think you know what love is. Thanks to their love, the standards for what a successful marriage looks like are sky high. That doesn't even make sense. Thanks to their love, the standards for what a successful marriage looks like are sky high. No, the standards are set. They're not sky high. They're what needs to be done for a successful relationship. It's not saying they're sky high is saying that's going to be tough. No, you're just supposed to find the right person. And what? Are you serious? Greg wants to find someone who can grow old with. Greg wants to find someone he can grow old with and treat like a queen. So the Bachelorette may just be swept off her feet. Well, queen, I wouldn't say so. Grow old with? She's 30 already. Here's his 3 bullet points he has on him. Greg is not afraid to admit that he cries during movies. Oh my God, this guy is just looking. He's looking to set himself up for post-Bachelorette pussy. That's exactly what he's setting himself up for. Smart move. No one's saying it's not a smart move, but that's so clearly what he's trying to do here. Greg's biggest pet peeve is slow drivers. That's your life is going so fine that my biggest pet, the thing that annoys me the most, slow drivers. Greg dreams of seeing LeBron James play basketball in person. That's a little gay. That's the third thing you want people to know about you. This is what I want you to know about me. I cry during movies. All right. I hate slow drivers. And I'd love to see a tall black man dunk a basketball. That would be the dream. To say me and Greg wouldn't get along is an understatement. All right. Greg is done. Who else do we have here? We have Jeff. John, Josh, we did 40 minutes. It's longer than I thought I'd get on this. Let's also not a lot of guys stood out to me on here. Where's the guy? Where is the guy with the? Let's do Courtney. Let's do Courtney here. Who spells his name Quartney? Okay. Courtney, he's 26, a nutrition entrepreneur from Dallas, Texas. Nutrition entrepreneur, not a real job. That is not a job that exists. You could be an entrepreneur. You could be a nutrition specialist. You could be a dietitian. You cannot be a nutrition entrepreneur because that's not a real job. Here we go. When it comes to putting it all out there for love, Courtney is not afraid to make a spectacle. That seems like something like someone that would be a beautiful sentence in Spanish, and then you translate to English and you're like, oh, that doesn't make that much sense. I'm not afraid to make a spectacle for love. That's not how people speak. He is compassionate, caring, and honest. They meant to put an honest man. And an honest man who is going to make romantic gestures that make his partner feel special, as well as provide security and consistent love at all times. All of those are hollow words. They truly mean nothing. I'll make you feel special, secure, and constantly loved. None of that means anything. He is looking for a woman who is outgoing, ambitious, and like-minded when it comes to his religious beliefs. Red flag. Red flag. Which are very important to him. Yeah, it's very clear. Imagine if you're like, I need someone that's like-minded in my religious beliefs, but that's not that important. No, if you bring that up, that's important. It also means if you get you pregnant, you're having the kid. Let's call it what it is. Also, I need a woman who's outgoing and ambitious. Have you ever heard a guy go, yeah, I'm looking for a woman that's just a fucking shell of herself and doesn't want to do shit. That's what I'm looking for. God, these people are assholes. He loves to daydream about having a family and says that the number one thing he is looking for is someone to be an amazing mother to his future children. That's what he daydreams about, a woman that, like, can make a sandwich for her kid. But sometimes during the day, I just blank out and I just picture my future wife putting Cheez-Its in a bag. That's what I do. Just close it, see the Cheez-Its going in the bag, get rock hard. Courtney's goal in life is to leave behind a legacy. That's scary. I'm very religious and I want to leave behind a legacy. That's what Waco was. And he needs a partner who will stand side by side with him and build an empire. I mean, this just sounds like a cult leader, does it not? Courtney is here to make an impact and is ready to fight for a chance of love. Whatever it takes. I hate when people say I'm here to fight for love. Like, it shouldn't be a fight. Just go to a bar and meet a fucking girl, you loser. All right. Courtney's got 3 bullet points here. Even though he's not great at it, Courtney loves to country line dance. All right, that's where he plays to the white Southern girls. Good move, Courtney. Good move. Second bullet point here. Scuba diving is at the top of Courtney's bucket list. Oh, he might just exclusively want to bang white girls. That might be what he's doing here. I like to country line dance. I like to scuba dive. Let me tell you 2 things black girls aren't doing. And then last one he has here. Courtney's idea of a perfect nightcap is a robust bonfire with s'mores, music, and dancing. That's a nightcap? Do you know how long it takes to build a bonfire? I did it last night. It takes a while. Like, that's not a nightcap. Or unless you, like, hire someone to do it for you. But that's not a nightcap. That's like a night itself. All right, Courtney. You are an asshole. Who else are we moving on to? Okay. No, who is the guy who was in the... He was the guy from Jersey who was living... I just want to read his thing, and then I'm going to finish it off. I know who I'm going to finish this off at. 15 minutes. Can I make it an hour? Probably. Is this the guy? No, Greg. We did Greg. Oh, this is him, Jeff. So Jeff was the guy who lived in the trailer. All right, so Jeff, 31, surgical skin salesman, Jersey City, New Jersey. Now, surgical skin salesman sounds like someone that, like, after, like, obese people lose weight, they cut the skin off, the excess skin. It sounds like he goes into the room, takes the skin, and sells it. And if you live in an RV, I don't think that's that far off. All right, here we go. Now, also, Jersey City, New Jersey. Where are you leaving that RV? Like, there's no way you could just park your RV anywhere in Jersey City. Here's his biography. Jeff comes from a big, loving Italian family and is looking to find the love that his parents have. He's from a big, loving Italian family. That's why they make him sleep in an RV. That's right. That's how loving they are. For Jeff, family is everything. And he still finds time every weekend to mow his parents' lawn, do some laundry, and sit down for a big Italian dinner. Yeah, he probably does it because they pay him his fucking allowance. That's probably how he makes his money. He'll mow his parents' lawn and they give him $20 for the week. When he's not chowing down on a plate of his mom's home cooked... Let me reread that. When he's not chowing down on a plate of his mom's home-cooked meal, that's not a real sentence. On a plate of his mom's home-cooked meal, that's like how aliens would describe how we eat. Jeff is dealing with his clients both in and out of the operating. Did no one proofread any of these fucking paragraphs? Jeff is dealing with his clients both in and out of the operating, where Jeff works as an artificial skin sales rep. Apparently not a successful one. His family and professional life are in a great place, and now he is hoping to find the only thing he is missing. Oh, wait, it says love, but it should say an apartment. Jeff is energetic, outgoing, and loving to his care. And loving to his core. Loving to his care would make just as much not sense. That doesn't... Oh my God, these people are assholes. He's seeking an adventurous woman with a great sense of humor who won't have trouble giving it back to him when she sees fit. Okay, so he has an embarrassment kink. I just love it when a woman kicks me to the ground, straps a dog collar on me, and makes me go on the subway. That you want me to tell you a woman I'm looking for? Jeff calls himself an exceptional lover. So here's to hoping he doesn't show up and disappoint. Well, you did. You really did. All right. Here's Jeff's 3 bullet points. If Jeff could have any other job, he would be a CIA agent. All right, so what does that mean? If I could have any other job, I'd disrupt the democracy of other countries. That's what it would be. If I could have any other job, what that means is he went to a pretty bad school where they don't recruit CIA agents from. And he's like, man, I'd just like to be a CIA agent. I just like to feel important. Next one he has. Jeff has never met an animal that didn't love him. How the fuck do you know? Can you talk to dogs? Can you talk to animals? How do you know you've never met an animal that doesn't like you? There's probably a fucking cat out there that's like, you know that guy Jeff who lives in his RV? What a fucking loser that guy is. What a genuine even I have a home and I'm a cat. Last one, Jeff lives for good Italian food. We get you're from Jersey. My throat's so dry. All right, let's wrap this up with the last guy here. So that was Jeff. And now the last guy. So the last guy was in the box. Do we remember? He was in the box the whole episode. Comes out about an hour into the episode. Now, who is this guy? Let me come up with the name here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So the guy in the box, a lot of people DM'd me after the episode. So the guy in the box was named James. Do you remember? James came out of the box, and he looked familiar to me. He looked familiar, and then people started DMing me and said, this guy went to Cortland. Do you remember him? Do you remember James? And I was like, that's where I remember him from. Now, I've talked about this before. I went to SUNY Cortland. SUNY Cortland, very bad school. Nothing shows it as much as this guy, James, all right? James is 30 years old, and now he's on The Bachelorette. What does that mean? So James graduated from SUNY Cortland, goes into the real world, finds out, hey, I don't have any real skills. I'm not that intelligent of a person. I have no future. Realizes that apparently at 30 years old. And what he decides to do is, instead of going back to school, to a better school, and studying a field that's useful, what he did was he went on The Bachelorette to increase his Instagram numbers. That's what we like to call a Cortland MBA. That's what that is when you realize, hey, the real world isn't for me. I can't really contribute anything back. So I'm just going to still try to capitalize on my good looks and lack of personality and just try to skyrocket from there, all right? Because it's very clear my intelligence and my work ethic are not going to help. I think that's the clip for the week. I think that might be the clip. And he doesn't have a page, does he? Oh, he does. All right. So this is James. He's a software salesman from La Jolla, California. All right. So first off, right there, he is not from La Jolla, California. We could start that off right there, right? He, in zero ways, is he from there because he went to SUNY Cortland. He's got to be from Long Island, Staten Island. There's 0% chance he's from there. Software salesman. What? No. Okay, here we go. James loves the pursuit of becoming the best version of himself. Translate that to Cortland speak. I love to go to the gym and work on my body. That's what that means. That means I'm a fucking bodybuilder. I do not work on myself, my personality. I work on myself physically. That's what that means. To say that he takes care of his physique is an understatement. The man is built, all capital, built. Yeah, that means I went to SUNY Cortland and I studied fitness development. However, there's more to him than his looks. And James has a lot of love to give. There's more than my looks. That's why I started this completely about how I look. When he finds the right woman, he is ready to give himself to her wholeheartedly. Let's reread that. When he finds the right woman, he is ready to give himself to her wholeheartedly. If you're an English major, comment back. That doesn't make sense. I'll give you myself wholeheartedly when you're he won't cheat on you? Does that what that means? Like, if you're the right woman, I won't still be on dating apps and bang other girl. I think that's what he means by that. James is looking for someone who is full of life and energy. So he's not looking for a dead bitch. Let me tell you that much. He loves women who have goals of their own and spontaneity, along with a bit of... Oh my God. Fucking proofread. He loves women who have goals of their own and spontaneity, along with a bit of mystery. No, oh my God. What an awful... He loves women who have goals of their own, comma, and spontaneity, along with a bit of mystery, are his two biggest turn-ons. Dude, Fucking, how can you not, like, this is a Cortland student. This is a guy who truly doesn't know how to structure a sentence. Because you added way too many things. The punctuation is completely off. Spontaneity, it should be spontaneity, comma, along with a bit of mystery, comma. No, my God. So spontaneity and a bit of mystery are his biggest turn-ons. Can we just be honest? Also tits and ass. Because it's very clear you're not looking for a woman for her brains because you don't have any of your own. James works hard to make sure that the woman in his life knows she is appreciated and valued because for James, relationships are about actions, not words. Now, how I read that is not how the punctuation is on here. How it should have been read, that sentence, is James works hard to make sure that the woman in his life knows she is appreciated and valued because for James, comma, relationships are about actions, comma, not words. Whoever was his English 101 professor at Cortland did a terrible job. Also, along with all of his teachers from grades kindergarten to 12th grade. So let's not put all the blame on Cortland here. So James works hard to make sure that the woman in his life knows she is appreciated and valued because relationships are about actions, not words. That's how the sentence should be structured. And sure, I guess. And then last sentence, we love a man with action. Who's we? The fucking producers? Okay. And now here are his 4 bullet points. This is fantastic. First bullet point. James has 0 phobias. I'm fucking not afraid of anything. What are you afraid of? Heights? Gay? I'm not afraid of heights. I have 0 phobias. Nothing in the world scares me at any point. I will always triumph over it. Next one. James loves to experiment in the kitchen and hates fast food. Sometimes I like to put fucking pesto on my salmon. How about that? Is that spontaneity? Next one. James's favorite board game is Monopoly. How fucking boring of a person are you when the third fact you want the world to know is, yeah, I like Monopoly. It's my favorite board game. Yeah, out of all the board games, that's my favorite one. I'll tell you what his favorite board game definitely isn't. Trivial Pursuit, this fucking retard. And then last one here. James loves to rock turtlenecks. I hate when someone thinks turtlenecks are cool. I can guarantee no one just wears a turtleneck. They also wear a turtleneck and a gold chain. No one just wears a turtleneck ever. Ever. And this guy's supposed to be a software salesman? Bullshit. All right, team. We did it. Did it by myself. A whole episode. Solo Dolo. Was it good? Was it bad? I don't know, but I did it. All right, team. Adios.